Hello.
Hey Jessica, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, perfectly. Do you hear me?
Yes, I've got you. I've got you. Where are you located at? Where are you calling in from?
Ireland.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
About an hour north of Dublin. Don't know if
Okay.
you know the geography very well. I live in Northern
Not
Ireland,
very
but
well
yeah,
versed in the geography of
that's
Ireland, but
totally
definitely a
fair.
place I've always wanted to go. Nice.
Cool. What
Are
about
you
you?
Michigan in the US, so
Oh, cool, cool,
across the
cool.
pond there. Yep.
Yeah, I have
Northern part of the state.
a lot of family who live in or just outside Chicago. Wait,
Yeah.
that's not Michigan, is it? That's Illinois.
Georgia is its own state. It's in the South, but I have family down there as well too. Yep.
Oh no, sorry, Chicago.
Oh, that's
It's Illinois,
Illinois.
isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Illinois,
I
but
always get
I'm
those two confused.
Yeah, I'm only about 2 hours from there, so
Oh,
it's not
cool.
a huge journey. Okay, well, let's
Awesome.
jump in and get started. So,
Yeah,
how
let's
I
do
find these calls typically work best is I want to start off and tell you a little bit about closers.io. I know it's been a
it.
while since you've been in our ecosystem, so I think it's worth a little
Mhm.
update. Things have changed quite a bit. And
Cool.
then I want to switch gears and talk about your background, your last role, what we're looking for in our next role, kind of why we're here overall. And then once we cover all those things, we'll jump into next steps and kind of what to expect moving forward.
Cool.
We may need to go beyond the 30-minute mark. Are we okay with that? Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Don't worry.
Beautiful. Awesome. So just so we are on the same page about kind of who we are, my name's Jessica. I'm one of the recruiting coordinators here with Closers.io. We are a consulting company that works with high ticket business owners to help them grow and scale their businesses. Major way we do that is through recruitment. So I connect with setters, closers, run these interviews, and then get you guys connected through our internal talent pipeline to those business opportunities. Any questions on that?
No, all good.
Awesome. Okay. So I always like to just kind of kick off with why and what prompted you to reach back out to us.
Yeah, so I'll try and be as concise as possible. But
Sure.
when I chatted to you guys the first time, I was still at my original closing role, which was Agent Smart.
Hmm.
And literally the day I had the interview with you guys, about 20 minutes after I got, I can't remember the guy's name, but 20 minutes after I got off the phone with him, Founder OS reached out to me. So they had previously rejected me for the role,
Okay.
and then they reached back out to hire me. And it was just, I thought it was an amazing opportunity, so I took it. And that's basically why, kind of what happened there. I
Yep.
was at Founder OS then from September through, I handed my notice in then in December. So it was only 4 months.
Okay.
It wasn't what I thought it was. And yeah, since then, I kind of took a month. I took the whole month of January off because I had quite a few deals that were still landing, so I was happy enough to just take that off. And then I decided to take February off as well. Just I haven't had a time off in my life, so I was like, might as well take some time. And then obviously it's March now, so I just thought I'd kind of explore a bit more. Just right off the bat, I'm looking for a home. I'm 33. I'm old for a closer. I know there's a few that are
Not
older
at
than me,
all.
but there's
Not at all.
I don't think there's that many in my experience anyway. But I just want to be somewhere where I can work for a long time.
Okay.
That's literally, I'm so bored of having loads and loads of interviews and then meeting companies who I just don't vibe with. I'm like, this is not what you said it would be, something totally different. So.
Okay. How long have we been back in the job search then?
Oh, I haven't searched. This
Okay.
is the first.
This is the
Yeah,
first
I
search.
could go for another 3 or 4 months, but I'm bored of not working, so I
Yeah.
just kind of want to get back into work.
Okay. Got it. With the last position you took, what happened to kind of cause that, part of ways?
So it's always a difficult one, without being really honest. But
We like honesty.
yeah, I don't know if you know Matt Gray. He's the CEO of Founder OS.
Yeah.
We just didn't click, to put it that way. It wasn't just me. There was several closers. We all left at the same time. There's going to be a reshuffle. They're changing things over there, which is really good. They've asked me would I consider coming back, but it was just a clash of how do I say it? I'm so sorry about this, but Matt is a really hyper intelligent gentleman.
Sure.
He is not good with people.
Okay.
Okay, that's the best way I can put that.
Okay. So was it more just kind of overall work environment? Was it opportunity, growth? What did that look like?
I mean, in the 4 months that I was there, I did 535 in cash collected. I was basically it was between me and another guy as their top closer.
Mhm.
Opportunity was there. It was strictly a morale issue. And again, out of a 6-person sales team, three setters, three closers, me and another closer left, and two sellers also left, and the sales manager left, all within the 1 month of each other. And I was the only one who actually handed in my notice. The rest just stopped working. So
Got it.
it wasn't good, put it that way. But
Yep.
they're
Okay.
rebuilding. So
Got it. And I don't like to pro, but the big thing
sure,
is we
sure.
obviously work with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of business owners. So the last thing that
Mhm.
I want to do is take you from that experience and put you
Put me back
into
into
another
it.
experience similar to
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
is there anything specific from that we don't want to echo in the next role? And we'll kind of dive into specifics in a little bit, but
Yeah. I can't have bro culture. I'm not that guy.
okay.
I've always struggled with those kind of fake hyper masculine people
Yeah.
who are trying to do all of that. I
Yeah.
just It's really hard to pinpoint one thing. I want to work on under a leadership team that has a clear goal in mind and a goal that is realistic and they actually have plans on getting there,
Yep.
not just let's make 10 million a month with no plan on how to do so.
Yep.
I want to go to a place that has clear structures for lead generation and clear structures for the team as
Mhm.
well and clear progression structure. I'm happy to be a closer the rest of my life. I love it,
Yep.
but I want to know that there's also more out there.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the things I can pinpoint right now.
Sure, sure. So why are we looking now? I mean, you said you've got a couple of more months that
Mhm.
we could be, kind of reserved. So why March?
Pure boredom.
Boredom.
I took, like I said, I had a really nice month in January, and then February was like a second month. But right now, I'm just
Okay.
lacking. I've gained like oh, how would American
You can say, yeah, you can.
yeah, like I've gained like 7 kilos
Okay.
because I've got nothing to do. And it's like
Okay.
I've no structure for, waking up, starting at 9 a.m., go to the gym for 6 a.m. You come home, go for a walk. It's like I kind of wake up at 6 and just kind of sit there for hours and go out for a walk with my wife, take her for lunch, take her to dinner,
Yep. Okay.
take her to a bar. It's just like me and her having fun, which is amazing. But I do need that structure back in my life.
Okay. Got it. In the next role that we're looking for, are we looking for something more full-time or part-time?
Full time.
Full-time. Okay.
Yeah.
And I always like to ask because nowadays full and part-time means something different to everybody. So in
Yeah.
terms of
Yeah.
hours, what does that look like?
Honestly, I
Oh,
think this is just a brilliant question, and it's one that goes both ways. To take Founder OS as a great example, my calendar was open 12 hours. I
okay.
was lucky if I got 3 hours a day,
Got
and
it.
I was still closing at that rate. So I will work. Most companies say you need to be available 30, 35 hours. That's not a problem.
Hmm.
But if a company says 30, 35 hours and they're only able to provide me with 4 calls a week, that's a non-starter.
Okay.
And that's actually one of the reasons why I came to you guys.
Right.
I feel you guys will have an insight into who's actually doing what they claim they can do and
Right.
who's actually just kind of making shit up on the hope that they can actually get the lead gen under control.
Okay, awesome. 30, 35 hours. If a company wanted you to work 40,
Not a
40,
problem.
not a problem. Okay,
No.
got
I
it.
mean, I'm
And
not going to do 60,
no, no,
not
no.
every
Yeah,
month,
there's
but I'll
balance.
do,
There's
yeah,
balance
yeah,
there.
yeah,
100%. Okay.
yeah,
But we're open to a full 40-hour work week.
yeah, 100%.
Okay. How soon are you wanting to get started, or how soon are you able to get started?
If the right opportunity came up, I'd start today.
Okay, so there's no
Well,
like
tomorrow.
buffer time transition period needed. We're ready to
No.
go. Okay.
I'm doing kind of part-time work at the minute. I don't know if you know him actually, Zacharias Castle. He used to work for Closers.
Yep.
I'm working with Zach at the minute, but it is um, part-time temporary. Basically, I'm a stopgap for them, they're a stopgap for me, just for
Okay.
me to kind of get back in and get used to taking calls again.
Okay. Do they know you're looking for other
Yeah,
opportunities?
well, Zach knows. I work for Zach, not for the company. So
Okay,
it's
got it. So it's more like
different.
under behind the scenes.
Exactly.
Okay. And with that, is that something that we want to keep moving forward, or if we find a full-time role, what does that look like?
Oh, they're again, Zach knows if something came along, I'd be out the door. That was part of
Okay.
the discussion. It was like I don't want to be here for that long. So
Sure.
he's totally cool with me
Okay.
just skedaddling.
Okay. So we are looking for something that we can put all of our attentions and efforts into.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. So to get a bigger picture about goals overall, I don't want to
Mhm.
talk 10-year plan, we're not
Sure.
talking life goal, but if we were to have this conversation March of next year, where do you see
Mhm.
yourself professionally a year from now?
Honestly, I'm super simple. I want to get back to kind of 10 to 20K months
Hmm.
and yeah, at least 30 calls a week.
Yep.
and that's me happy as a
Okay.
pig and shit. Honestly, that's all. I just want consistency.
Okay, consistency. Got it.
Yeah.
And I mean, good kind of transition point is, and we've touched on some of this already, but in your next role, what are you looking for in terms of like team environment, culture? What do we want to have an expectation of?
Yeah, so more, even more so than the money, this is the thing that's really important to me, is a really healthy team culture that
Mhm.
people actually get along, but it's still competitive. I am always top of that leaderboard. That is my goal every single morning when I wake up, but I am not and I know I've been swearing quite a bit. I don't do this professionally on calls. I know this is a professional call, by the way, but I'm not interviewing you, so I feel I can be me. But I really like. I'm not the kind of person who's gonna stomp on somebody who's below me. I'm never gonna sabotage them. I'm never gonna be nasty to them. I want a team that really does vibe and get along. My best friend is from AJ Smart, and we're still super close.
Mhm.
And the all the boys who we all left at the same time at Founder OS, we're still in the group chat. We're all super close. Team retreats, all of those things are really important to me. When you
Mhm.
work online, it can't be like a super isolated company unless it's exclusively stated as that, and then I'll work in that environment. But I'd much rather have a tight-knit team.
You want some sort of like collaborative environment, team, positive team culture. Okay. And then I
Mhm.
want to talk specifically about leadership. I know you kind of already answered this,
Sure.
but again, we have a ton of teams, a lot of different leadership styles. So when it comes to your next like sales manager or offer owner in general, what do we need from them? What do we absolutely not thrive under?
Yeah, so like everyone else, I don't thrive under micromanagement.
Sure.
That's not something. I also want a manager who's done this job.
Yep.
I've never worked under a manager who's actually done my job. I've always worked under people who say they've done it, but when you look into it, they've not actually done it. I want someone who is hands off, but is willing to sharpen the edges. I'm a very good closer. My record in 4 years is 5 million in cash collected, 97% cash collected. I only do 3% of my deals have ever been payment plans. Largest deal has been 300K. By every metric, I'm a great closer. I don't need somebody who's going to tell me how to do it from the ground up. I need someone who's going to look at me and say, Daniel, stop talking about your personal life at this point and let's focus, let's bring it back to the thing. I need people who will sharpen my edges, not try and rebuild me, basically.
Yep.
So, not a, yeah, not somebody who's going to be looking over my shoulder.
Yep. Okay. Got it. Got it. Anything else that we really want or don't want from leadership?
So, I'm really coachable and I actually really enjoy coaching sessions. I don't want a company that has a coaching call every day. That is, or a team meeting every single day. That is just, that drives me mad because it's an hour that I could be closing.
Yep.
A call or two a week is perfect. If it's more than that, fine. But ideally, like some of these people I've been interviewing have been saying there's a call in the morning, call in the evening, and I don't see I'm in the UK.
Right.
I'm happy to do US times to a point. I'm not going to be working until 5 p.m. Eastern. I've got a
Mhm.
wife. We're trying to have a family.
Right.
Like my hours are, I can do Europe, I can do Asia, Europe, and the first 4 hours of America. Sometimes I don't mind staying up till 11 p.m. take
Yep.
calls, but that's not going to be every day.
But we're open to like probably Pacific Mountain Time, but Central and Eastern we get a little bit later there. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that was
yeah.
that was going to be a big question is realistically what hours are we comfortable with in terms of US hours if we're open to US?
Yeah,
I will say just in full transparency, a lot of
sure.
our founders are based in the
Mhm.
US, but we do have plenty of people in the UK, right? Plenty of people in Europe. It just you're going to have a lot more opportunity if we're open to some of the
Yeah.
hours as well. Okay.
So just on that, and it is, I think it's important to say. So I'm in Ireland,
Yep.
but I live in Northern Ireland, so I spend money in pound sterling. Now the pound is far more valuable than the dollar right now.
Hmm.
So counterintuitively, I would really love a UK based or a
Sure.
European based company that pays in
Yep.
those currencies. But
Yep.
I'm more than happy to work America as well. Um, but
And we
yeah,
can
just
put
to
that as like a preference and then not close off the opportunity, right? Because if we have good earning
yeah.
potential, okay.
Yeah, exactly,
But I
exactly.
want to make sure that we're actually comfortable with that. Because if we don't want any US based offers, that is okay. It just might take us a little while to find that right fit.
Yeah, no, super happy to take like I said, I've been doing this for a long for a good long time now, and I've done USRs
Mhm.
until 6, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And I've always found that those first 4 hours of the day, especially like you guys get up early, like compared to Europeans, like 6 a.m. is normal for you guys.
Sure.
So like I oftentimes am on calls with people at 6 a.m. their time. And that's where I make sales. That's when their creative juices are flowing. That's when they're most susceptible to saying yes to things, not after a 8 hour workday where they're tired and frustrated and hungry and they have to come and speak to this bald guy from Ireland and then they have to make a decision there and then on the call. So I always find before noon American time, that's when I make quite a lot of sales in the
Okay.
States.
Got it. And I'll note that down. And then in terms of like the daily meetings, one thing is if a company is working with our team, we usually do suggest a daily meeting. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a sales specific meeting, but because we're virtual, we like to make sure that our teams are having some level of communication. It's not always sales focused. So there is probably a bigger chance that you might meet daily, but they're not multiple meetings a day. They're not like these senseless.
Yeah, as
Yeah,
long as it's not training calls. Like,
sure.
don't I'm open to that to a degree. There's a great company called Leader,
Hmm.
who I have chatted to in the past, and they did a sales training every day at 4 p.m. my time. That would be something I'd be like, okay, cool. But it's yeah, unless I'm really getting a lot out of it, I really do struggle with those sales meetings. Banter meetings, I'm all for. I think, like I said, togetherness is great, but if it's going over the same thing over and over again, so a
Sure.
sales manager can
And
say
what
they're
we
doing.
encourage too is if we have, what I would suggest is if we move, if we move forward and we get you into the interview pipeline, right, in the interview process, that's something that I would encourage you to ask, right, in your one-on-one interviews is realistically, what is that? What does the structure of those meetings look like to see if
Mhm,
what they're doing is going to be in alignment with what you're going to thrive in, right? So it's
mhm.
always an area that I say ask those bigger questions so that we go into it knowing what the expectation is for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just I guess a curiosity on my side, how do you guys actually get paid from this?
So the business owners go through a program with us. So they invest
Mhm,
in sourcing talent. Our role
cool.
here as recruiters is finding that talent, bringing you into a pipeline, right, to go through these interviews that the business owners are paying us to
Mhm.
find that talent. Yep. Yeah.
Interesting. Cool.
So we're not a paid recruitment service in the sense that our recruitees, like yourself,
Mhm.
would be you're not going to ever be
Yeah.
billed or asked to invest in anything that comes from the business owner side. Yep.
Cool. Cool.
Awesome. Now I'm going to drop a list here in the chat. Because we work with so many different companies, there's quite a wide range of niche. So there's a list of 25 of our most common industries that we work with. Take a second to just look through this, and then in no particular order, give me your top 10.
Oh, okay. Cool. So just want me to call out the number?
Number or word, it's totally whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, either or.
Yeah. So number three, number five,
Hmm.
number seven, and number eight,
Hmm.
10, 11, 13, and 15,
Hmm.
16, 17. I actually don't know how many I've called out here.
I think we're at 10. Yes.
Okay,
So
cool.
any of the following that you want to swap out.
No,
Perfect.
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we want to start to do is cast a wide net, see what all the opportunity is that falls under this bucket. But what would you say your top three are if we do want to hone it in a little bit?
Um, I would say probably 15
Hmm.
would actually be a really interesting one for me.
Sure.
Um, Number four, and when it says education, is that specifically for like colleges,
Yeah, typically
universities?
it's going to be a higher education. Yep.
Okay, I'm actually, yeah, I'd probably take that one out.
Sure.
But 17 then, health and wellness.
Cool. Awesome. And then when you say B2B, right, you put number three on there, that's usually
Hmm.
going to be in conjunction with another one of these industries, right? B2B and faith-based specifically are kind of broad umbrella for a
Hmm.
lot of different other opportunities. So some of what you put is likely going to also have a B2B op with that.
Cool. So that was, maybe as a point of interest, that was always a huge specialty of mine is those larger deals. I enjoy the long sales cycle. That doesn't bother me. Like the 300K deal I did was with Grammarly. I did another 200K deal with Spotify, and I did one for 175 with Apple. So
Right.
I've those more than able to deal with those larger companies and happy with the long sales cycle,
Okay.
as long as I'm either getting a decent base or getting smaller B2C deals that I can kind of,
Right.
do as my day to day.
Okay. And we'll dive into kind of like the metrics, the specifics of your sales background, but we are open to like a one or two call close opportunity as well.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Perfect.
That's
Now,
what I'm used to. So yeah.
good. Okay. I do like to ask as well, just because we do often get some very unique or niche offers kind of come across the desk. Is there any hobbies, passions, anything else that would interest you?
Yeah, so although I'm not myself, I'm very good at talking to people who are spiritual. Um, I'm super open-minded. So always been really great at those hobbies. Yeah, like gaming, like any guy, gaming, Warhammer, which I doubt's ever going to come up, but like love Warhammer, love soccer. You see Celtic in the background there. But yeah, they'd be the kind of niches, but definitely the kind of spirituality, the woo-woo. Um, yeah, those have always been really interesting for me.
Great.
Apparently, I have very feminine energy, which makes people feel very comfortable, which I did not take as an insult.
Okay, okay, nice. We actually just had a soccer offer come through not that long ago. We have a business owner that we work with that has kind of like a brand offer. So he works with intermediate
Cool.
soccer players to like grow their social media, connect with better agents, improve kind of their
Cool.
overall just day-to-day presentation so they can land bigger, teams or
Oh, awesome.
opportunities
Yeah.
there. So little things like that that are very like unique. We'll
Yeah.
want to, consider you for some of those kind of roles. Okay.
Oh, that's super interesting.
Yeah.
Love that.
So let's talk about income goals. Obviously, you've been in sales a
Mhm.
while, so we know that there's quite a range, right, that we can
Mhm.
have, we can achieve in the space. We'll talk about goals
Mhm.
in a second, but I do want to look at kind of bare minimums, right? What is the number we absolutely have to hit per month to make sure bills are paid? This is not a number I really ever want you to see, but if we have a slower
Yeah.
month or we're take a long vacation, don't hit KPI, whatever that is, what is your absolute floor?
5K.
Okay, perfect. What's the goal?
On average, I would say
Mhm.
10K, but the kind of what I would always be shooting for would be 20.
Sure. Okay. So 5K absolute bare minimum, 10K or more the goal, 20K as we're
Bonus.
growing with the
Yeah.
team, we're getting to those numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
realistically, I mean, with our closing rules, those are usually don't even start below that 5 to 6 in terms of lowest
Yeah.
threshold, right? With the opportunity to be much higher. So, okay, beautiful. Let's dive into the sales experience. I want to look at your background a
Sure.
little bit. If you see me looking over here, I've got your resume pulled up on my second screen.
Cool.
Just want to make sure everything that I have is present. So, Founder OS was your most recent role, right? That was
Yeah.
our, okay, got it.
Yeah.
If you could just give me, I've got your resume, but give me like a 60-second highlight of your sales background. No numbers or metrics. We'll dive into that next, but more so started my career here, doing
Mhm.
this, moved into that. Now we're here.
Yeah. So started my career running a restaurant,
Mhm.
took that, increased the revenue, met a Coca-Cola rep. She thought I'd be great there, applied there, got into Coca-Cola, did the Coca-Cola Academy sales training. Did that for 2 years, moved on to a company called Citation. It was basically phone setting because I wanted phone experience.
Mhm.
Did that for a year, moved on to a company called Envy only for about a month. And then I got the opportunity for AJ and Smart, which was my first high ticket role. Spent 3 years there, left in August, joined Founder OS in September, left in December.
Okay, okay. So we were with AG and Smart for 3 years and then Founder
Mhm.
OS for,
4 months.
yeah, okay, okay. With Founder OS, what was it exactly that you were selling and who was your ideal client?
So we were selling two things. So the first thing was personal branding.
Hmm.
So we would teach people how to boost their brand. And the second thing was systems. So depending on who the client was, so ideal client for the personal brand, that was a 7,800 offer, was somebody who's making between 5 to 10K per month
Hmm.
and who was really just starting out. And that was for personal branding. Then for systems, these were people who were earning between 25 to 45K per month,
Okay,
and they'd already established their business and they were growing and they needed systems involved. And then
okay.
we also had a larger deal for 68K.
And then what was the offer at AJ and Smart?
So Agent Smart, it was dual. So the primary role was B2C, and it was selling an online course to teach people how to become facilitators, essentially consultants who could go in and do in one day what it would take most consultants 6 weeks to 8 weeks to do. So they could charge 10K a day for what they were doing. So
Yeah.
we taught them how to do that, and then we taught them how to get clients. The other side of that then was our company were also facilitators, but we did large B2B deals, and I was in charge of B2B for them as well. So dealing with kind of Apple, Google, Spotify, Grammarly,
Okay, got it. I
training
think
their team.
I want to focus on your time with AJ and Smart. You were there a lot
Yeah,
longer, a lot more
yeah.
established. I think we can just at least to build out your profile and make it like as
Mhm.
robust as we can. I want to focus on those metrics. So when we talk moving forward, everything will be in regards to AJ and Smart, just kind of what I'm asking. So,
Okay.
what was the price point for the offer?
5K
5K.
euros, 5,000 euros.
Okay. And that
And
was,
then we
go ahead.
increased that to 6,500 for the last year that I was there.
Got it. Okay. So let's talk about the last year you were there then, just to make the
Mhm.
numbers super easy. So 6,500 was the package price. Was that all paid up front? Were those payment plans offered? I know you mentioned 97% of what you did is typically pay in
Yeah.
full, but what did that look like there?
Yeah, so I generally just took up front. There were payment plan options, but I just never offered them.
Okay. So if you had to say for that last year, what percentage of your sales were paid up front compared to payment plans?
Probably, honestly, 99%.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
That 1%, what did those payment plans typically look like?
Oh,
Was it
like a two pay,
like a two pay? Okay.
two pay, three pay. I don't think I ever, no, we didn't offer anything more than a three pay. So yeah, three pay.
Okay. So three pay was maximum. Most of what we did was paid up front.
Hmm.
Primarily what was paid in full or payment plan was split into two. Okay.
Hmm.
And then what was the sales process like? Was this a one call close, two call close, Zoom, phone?
Hmm. Yeah, so all took place on Zoom, and generally our process at AJ was super simple. It was we had the call. Um, at the end of the very call, give them the price. Never take the cash on the call. That was a policy. We did
Okay.
not want the cash on the call.
Sure.
It was, we had people who offer in and we would say, no, go talk to your husband, go talk to your wife. We will contact you in 48 hours and we'll take the payment at that point. So it was
Interesting.
really great for establishing trust. I think David Dre works for you guys.
Yes. Yep.
So David came and did sales coaching. He couldn't wrap his head around the process. He was like, "This is so weird,"
Yeah.
but it worked really well.
Sure.
Because we were not selling to people with lots of money. People were putting their life savings into this, or they were
Mhm.
currently employees and they were planning their next step. So the approach was trust first, money later. That was, and it worked extremely well.
Okay. Okay. I think it's always interesting, right? When different niche, industries find what works for them. It's not
Yeah.
always the same. You are comfortable with a one call close though, and
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
urgency.
Just to bring Founder OS into it, that was, I'd mentioned it to Matt. Matt was
Yep.
again super against the 48 hour process. So,
Okay.
my very first call for Founder OS, 7800 cash collected on the call.
Okay.
So that it's not a problem for me. It's not my preferred method.
Yeah.
I don't get it. As a sales fundamentalist, I just disagree with this. You have to take the cash in the call. I don't think it increases sales, but I'm happy to do it,
Okay.
basically is what I'm saying.
Yeah, majority of what we pitch is usually going to be a one or two call close, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Most of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time.
Mhm.
Okay. So that being said, what did the actual cycle look like? How were leads coming in? How are they getting
Mhm.
booked with you? Were you doing some of this setting? Kind of take me from start to sale.
Yeah, so we had a VSL funnel and it was exclusively through paid ads. Add to VSL, book a call. We took the call, no sellers involved at all. So it was just us, we take the call.
Okay,
We
cool.
didn't do any setting ourselves, we didn't need to.
Okay, so no setting involved. Um, they just kind of inbound booked on the calendar. Got it.
Inbound, there was four closers and full
Okay,
calendar. So
got it.
great VSL funnel.
Okay, perfect. So in terms of specific metrics, how many sales calls were you taking on average per day just in the last year you were there?
Okay, so that would have fallen significantly as to why I
Sure.
left.
Sure.
Funnel started to fall apart. On average per day, three.
Three. Okay. So
Three per day.
was that 5 or 6 days a week?
Uh, I did work six, so yeah, I'd say
Okay.
six.
About
Yeah,
18
so
calls a week. Okay. Of
yeah.
those, how many showed?
I think we had a 78% close rate or 78% show rate.
Sure. Okay. And then of those that showed, how many were we closing per week on average?
I think in my last year, my close rate was around 27% on average across the year.
Okay.
So yeah, around 27% across the year.
Okay. So if you had to give me an average, how many sales were we getting per month? It sounds like we'd probably get two a
Tw-
week based on.
Yeah, so no, per month. Well, in not last year, because that's really when the B2B took off for me. It's a good question. Per month, 12 to 15 per month
Okay.
on
12 to
average.
15 sales per
Because the
month.
year before it was about 20 to 23
Okay.
per month.
Sure.
Sales.
What was kind of, and I guess we can say this over the time that you were there, what was your best month in terms of units sold, your worst month, and then average kind of those whole 3 years?
Mhm. Best month was 2025, I think.
Okay.
Worst month was honestly was my wedding month where I took 3 weeks off. That was, I think, six.
Okay. Okay. So yeah,
30K.
that's right.
Yeah.
You take a lot of time off, but
Yeah.
what were the KPIs that they held you to?
They didn't.
No KPIs?
No KPIs. They were basically very amateurish company that were like just try and make us money. And me and the other two lads, Sean Logan, who I actually also think worked at Closers for a
Yep.
month or two as an advisor. It was me, him, and Adam Courtney, and we just closed, just kind of did our thing.
Okay. Okay. So no
But
set
the
KPIs.
standard was like they would say 25% close rates. That
Okay.
was like the kind of big KPI. Target, the way in which we built our targets, which was something that I had built out, was you got 10% up until you hit 50K. Once you hit 50K plus, you got 15%. And once you got to 120, you got 20%. So we
Okay.
were highly incentivized to sell as much as possible.
Got it. Okay. So it was you would kind of work on a tiered system essentially,
Yeah.
incentivized to have higher closing percent. So you
Yeah.
averaged, what was your average then, I guess, over the whole time you were there? What did we typically see?
And in terms of income or in terms of total cash
Total,
collected
yeah,
or
percent wise, where did we end up on that 10%, 15%, 20%? How often were we
Oh,
getting?
15%. Yeah,
Okay. Got it.
15% was the most common.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And then in terms of cash collected, I kind of want to do
hmm
the same thing. Average month in terms of cash collected, best, worst.
So on average, about average would have been 80 to 105. My best month was 125. Oh,
Okay. So 80 to 105, you said was average?
yeah, yeah, that
Okay.
would have been average. Yeah,
Okay. And then 125 was best month.
best month. Yeah,
Got it. Got it.
worst month was 30.
Okay. Obviously, that goes alongside with the
hmm
last one. Okay. And then in terms of revenue, obviously, I imagine that those numbers are going to be pretty similar if we did 99%, pay in full.
hmm
But what was do you know what your best month was in terms of revenue and average?
Yeah, it was December. No, sorry, January 2025,
Okay.
and in terms of total revenue, I think it was 403. But that was with a B2B deal included,
Got it. Okay. Nice.
which was worth 300. So
Sure. Sure. Okay. So 300K in the B2B deal, and
yeah,
then 100K, which was average for the B2C side of things. Okay. That
yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense. Now, how big was the team? How many other closers were there?
Are you talking about the last year or across the whole thing?
Let's go average of the time you were there, and then we'll talk last
Okay.
year.
So for the first 2 years, it was three of us, me, Adam, Sean. For the last year, it was just me, and then they brought in Molly and forget the other guy's name. But they brought them two in as kind of part-time closers.
Got it.
Things were really winding down at that stage for that last year, unfortunately. So yeah, it was just there was kind of three of us.
Okay, so of the three, where did you typically rank in terms of performance?
I, I'm not a arrogant sort, but yes, I was generally top for the entire 3 years.
Okay,
I think 5 or 6 months, Adam was ahead of me,
sure.
but over those 3 years, it was always me at the top.
Okay, okay. I always like to ask, I gotta push a little bit, right? So
Yeah.
the months that Adam was ahead, what do we think kind of contributed to that?
Uh, he's single. He he was single.
Okay,
I'm
good
going to
thing you
say
had the
that
time.
he was like those months. It was so funny because he's from Cork, which is the far south of Ireland. So like
Right.
I would drive down to see him every so often just to hang out. And I used to always say to him like, you need to stop doing these crazy months because those months directly correlated to a competition we held called Top Dog. And that boy would literally start at 8 a.m. and he would not finish until 2 a.m. And he just banged out call after call after call to
Yep.
collect as much cash as possible.
Okay.
And yeah, so that was generally one of my, and I can even put you in contact with my old manager, but the whole thing was consistency with me. I'm just I don't know, I'm a very simple sort of person. Just kind of wake up, do the job, go home, don't care about anything else.
Okay, got it. So it's more just the time. He had the
Just
time.
he had the time and
Okay.
some performance enhancing drugs, maybe,
Okay, okay.
which I'm not comfortable with. So
Right, right. Okay. Do you happen to have any trackers, like metric trackers from your time there that I don't necessarily need them right now, but
no, I used to. I'm pretty sure I showed the last guy. I'm so sorry. I'm pretty sure I showed the last guy. I don't have. I was thinking about this. It woke me up this morning. I don't have trackers and I don't have call recordings. I never saved any of those things for myself. It was never something I ever thought of.
yep. Well, we
So
have,
keep that in.
let me just look, because I do believe I already have from your first meeting.
Oh, cool.
I think I have your call recordings
Awesome.
from them.
Because that was when I was still at AJ, so I would have had access to them.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, we have those, so that's good. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, we won't need that, but awesome. Okay. Any formal like sales trainings you've gone through? Any investment in terms of mentorship or coaching or
Like I
courses?
said, just with Coca-Cola,
Just
did the Coca-Cola Sales Academy. Never, yeah, just never bothered to do sales training. Yeah.
okay. Okay. And I always ask, I mean, it's nice to say, Daniel's got X amount of experience. He does X, Y, and Z in terms of KPI. He's also invested X into his, education.
Hmm.
And I don't believe that the last company you're with, Founders OS, is somebody that we work with, but can you drop the name of the business owner,
Hmm.
in the chat? I just want to double check, do my due diligence here just to make sure.
Sure.
And it's okay if they
Okay.
have been. We just might need a release form.
No, that's cool. I don't know. I think they maybe did back in the past. Um,
We'll take a peek. But you were there for 4 months?
4 months, yeah.
Okay, and you haven't been there since December. So let me just double
Hmm.
check. Give me 1 second. Let's see, 2023. I'll double check. I don't think we're going to need a release form for him because he hasn't been with us for a couple of years. But if we do, it's super, super simple. I'll send you an email that has the form in it. You just have to forward that to him, ask him to fill it out. If he doesn't do it within 24 to 48 hours, we'll reach out. And if he doesn't fill it out, it's okay. We just need to make sure we've attempted that. I'll double check. I don't think we're going to need to, but it's
Yeah.
simple if we do. Okay.
Is that even if that's it? I'm so sorry. I find these things really interesting. Why would you need that from him? I can send it to
So
him, not a bother, but curious.
yep. So there's in our contracts with our clients pre 2024. So anybody that enrolled prior to that, it was kind of more like a safety measure for them that we wouldn't be coming back in to poach former staff or staff. So we just
Hmm.
made a clause in there that if somebody came to us looking for employment and they have worked with you, we just need to make sure that you know everything's in the clear. You are actually parted ways. There wasn't anything insane that happened. So it's more just a common courtesy. But again, I don't think
Cool.
we're going to need that with them, just based on when they were a client, but I'll just double check. Awesome. And
Awesome.
then are you open to setting your own deals if that's part of the offer?
Yes, I'd rather not,
Yep.
to be honest.
Sure.
Totally fine with it, but I love the closing and just
Yep.
kind of getting to know the person there and then. But set and roll, I did it for so long with citation and basically what I did at Coca-Cola as well. It's not as fun
No,
as, don't get me
100%.
wrong, if there's a great set and roll, like if I could have be a setter at Find Your OS because it looked awesome, like in terms of how much they actually got paid. They're getting paid more than us most of the time. But I'd rather either do exclusively closer role, which would be my
Yep.
priority, or if there's a really great setter role, I'd be more than happy to do that as well.
Okay. Because there are opportunities. We have some setter closer hybrids where you will have calendar times booked, like appointments booked on your calendar already, but then your, offer owner might have like an applications list of people who need to be contacted and reached out. And so the closers will kind of take,
Oh yeah, more than
things like
happy.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it
No,
wouldn't be
yeah.
like a cold calling setter closer hybrid. It's more so we've got these
Okay.
inbound leads and we need somebody to put these on their calendar.
Yeah, no, 100% game for that. That's normal to me. So that I would have done that at AJ, did that at Finder OS. If there was people in that list, I'm more than happy to reach out.
Got it. Okay. And then just to confirm, we prefer Asia, European, UK time zones. We're open to the earlier time zones here in the US just to make sure that
Yeah.
it makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Basically, kind of 8 a.m. to 8 to 5, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. UK time, so
Yep.
GMT.
Yep.
So that does cover a lot of Asia because I know that's a frustration for a lot of American companies is that they can't get people from Asia who are willing to pay the money because of the time zone difference. So
100%. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. And then do you happen to speak any other languages aside from English?
a little bit of Gaelic.
Would you be sales comfortable?
You're not going to find
Okay.
anyone who needs to speak Gaelic.
Yep. I always ask what kind of language
No,
you want
totally,
to
totally
take.
fair. I shouldn't even have said it. It's pointless to even bring it up, but no one speaks Irish. So
Okay.
yeah.
And then our clients will run a criminal background check. Is there anything that'll pop up that we want to be aware of ahead of time? Okay.
No.
Beautiful. All right. Are you open to some of my feedback on our conversation today?
Please, yeah,
Okay,
please go ahead.
beautiful. So, Daniel, I think you show up really well. I think obviously you've got a great background. I think that's going to serve you well when it comes to closing. You've obviously got a proven history of kind of a track record, right, of what's going on here moving forward. I like your setup. I think you've got good, good energy. Feedback, I
Thank you.
will say, I'm just critical feedback for when you go into
Please.
interviews because we got a lot of people in the pipeline. I want you to show up as best as you can. What I would suggest would be collared shirt or full button up kind of dress shirt. We've got a lot of people who are going to look for that first initial impression. And then I would adjust that light here in the corner. It casts a bit of a shadow just on the one side of your face. It's quite bright on the one side, a little bit darker on the other. If we can get
Cool.
that lighting to the front, just to
Oh,
brighten it
that's
up.
my window. Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
it's a window right there.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's my window. Yeah.
yep, that would make sense. So if we can, yeah, that like orange kind of glowing light, that's what
Yeah.
I would move. Yep. Just
Cool.
adjust a bit, right? And even if you get one of those clip-on ring lights or something to kind of offset
Yeah.
that, those are,
Awesome.
pretty cheap for that. Okay. Beautiful. So I do want to move forward in the pipeline. I think you'd be,
Cool.
a great fit for a lot of our roles. There are a couple of things we do have to get done before I can do that.
Sure.
First and foremost, I have I've actually got your trackers here too. So I've got your trackers, I've got your call recording, so
Oh,
that's
cool.
good. I do need an updated resume. Is the resume that we have on file updated from it says September 2025 to present? I just want to make sure. Yeah, I guess that would be most accurate, right? The founder OS was your most recent role.
Yeah, I doubt it would have any
Yeah, we
statistics
would
in it,
just,
but
yeah, no,
yeah.
that's okay. Okay, beautiful. So, a couple of things I want to start with. I want to start with our verbal non-disclosure.
Sure.
This is essentially just going to make sure we're on the same page in terms of commitment. I've got four yes or no questions from you. I do need a verbal yes or no. So, first and foremost, any role while being commissioned or independent contracted does require you to treat it as your primary professional role, including sending end of day reports and attending daily meetings should they be, required. Can we do that?
Yes.
Beautiful. And then do you have a suitable setup to perform professionally, including a reliable desktop or laptop, and a workspace to conduct business calls?
Yes.
Awesome. And it is crucial that you respond within 24 hours to any communication from our team and our clients, and then maintain professionalism at all times. Can we do that?
Cool. Yes.
Awesome. And then if there is a change in your professional status, if you take another role, if we want to just put a pause in recruitment, we do ask that you let us know that. That way we can put a pause on our end. Don't just ghost, don't fall off the face of the earth. Let us know. Can we do that?
Yes.
Awesome. And then non-compliance with these commitments can lead to disqualification from future opportunity. Any questions?
Nope.
Amazing. Okay.
Okay.
So next steps, I'm going to share my screen here. I don't know. This is very new, so I don't believe this
Sure.
would have been applicable to you before. But do you know if you're a part of this school group here? Does this look familiar to you?
No, I'm
Okay.
not.
I'll send you a link for this, and I'm going to send this over in an email, so don't worry about writing all this down. But what I'm going to have you do, I'll send you an invitation. You're going to go over here to the classroom tab. And then this first module, next steps after interviewing, we have to get that done as soon as possible. This is only going to
Okay.
take like 20, 25 minutes to go through, but it's going to introduce you to all of our account managers, the recruitment team, so you know who's going to be reaching out, and then kind of what to expect moving forward process-wise. So go
Okay.
through this module, number one. Make sure that gets done. Let me know when you complete that. And then number two, and again, I will send this over instruction wise, but I do need an intro video from you. So it's going to be a
Okay.
60-second video. Introduce yourself, a little bit about you, very high level of your sales background, and then what would make you a good candidate for one of our roles. Again, I'll email you kind of the steps here.
Cool.
Not a role in particular, not any specific opportunity, but just what sets you apart as a salesperson that other candidates may not have. So 60
Mhm.
seconds, not super long, who you are, a little bit about your background, what makes you a good candidate for one of our roles. As
Perfect.
soon as you give me the intro video and as soon as you get the next steps video or the next steps module complete, then we'll be able to take the next steps into the pipeline. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
No
Do you
worries.
think you can get those to me by Thursday?
Oh, Thursday? Yeah, 100%. I was trying to calculate if I can get it done today. I have to take my wife for an MRI,
No, no,
so
you're totally good. So,
today,
yeah,
but
as
I
long as
should
we
be
can
able to
get
get it
things
done
in by
tomorrow.
Thursday, then I'll get you through and we can start the pipeline process end of the week, moving into the weekend.
Awesome. Awesome.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Okay. Give me just a little bit of time. Like I said, I'll email all that over to you and then we will move forward from here. Okay. Any questions for
Yeah,
me?
that's brilliant. No, no, honestly, that was great.
Awesome.
Really appreciate it.
Of
So
course.
just in those meetings as well, just don't swear. Just don't be.
Professional. Yeah.
See if I
Professional
do have a
energy.
button up. I haven't worn a button up in about 10 years,
Button
so
up, collared shirt, polo. Just, yep. Yep.
yeah, I don't think they're in the wardrobe, Jessica, to be honest, but I'll go search for one.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. I'll let you be resourceful on that side. I trust you.
Yeah, no, no worries, no
Okay.
worries. Okay,
Awesome.
cool.
All right, Daniel. I'll email you soon and we'll move forward from here.
All right, all the best. Catch you soon. Bye bye.